So, some good news. Yesterday I put up a video on YouTube looking for the identity of a TV personality from the early 90s, and in less than 24 hours somebody commented and I found the person that I was looking for. So that's great news. The only problem is that I was going off things that I remember, and the more I look into this, the more I discover that what I remember was really far from the mark. I got things horribly wrong here. Hey YouTube, Al here from One Man Many Plans. Great to have your company once again. And yes, great news for this channel. Another mystery has been solved. And in record time too. Less than 24 hours ago, I put up a video on this channel and also a short, basically looking for a TV personality. If you haven't checked out the full video of who I was searching for and the show that they were hosting that I had some very vague recollections of, well, there's a link down below. But a massive thank you, and I can't thank him enough for his suggestion. Harkin X is the YouTuber who came along, saw my short, and suggested a name that I looked at and went, no, I've seen this guy's name, and I've looked at things briefly. No, it doesn't match. There's a lot of differences between what I remember and this particular guy that Harkin X actually nominated. And then just on a limb, I decided just to delve a little bit deeper. And it turns out he was right on the money. He identified the person that I was thinking of correctly. The person that I was looking for, the TV personality from my memory, Dr. Nigel Latta was his name. He was a New Zealand clinical psychologist, author and broadcaster, and the show that he hosted was called The Politically Incorrect Parenting Show. And it ran here in Australia, and here is, thanks to the wonders of YouTube, a promo from that very show. This is the same promo that I saw back in the day and went, hang on, what's this about?
Meet Dr. Nigel Latta. He's a clinical psychologist and a modern-day parenting guru.
Should we let children do things where they might get hurt? Yep.
A man with a wealth of experience.
You should absolutely lie to your children. Absolutely. Because it's fun and it makes life a lot easier.
He'll say what we all think but don't dare say.
If you've got chubby children, it's your fault. Oh, that's a bit un-PC, isn't it?
So what's he think of namby-pamby parenting? Your prayers have been answered. Get ready for the Politically Incorrect Parenting Show. Soon on When.
There we go, mystery solved. Dr. Nigel Latta there from the show, The Politically Incorrect Parenting Show here in Australia. I think it also ran in New Zealand, but as soon as I saw the first few seconds of that promo earlier today, I went, yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for. The problem is that if you followed my last video and then just watched that promo, you might be going, hang on, wait a minute, there's not much in that actually matches up with what Al remembers from way back when. And that's the problem. Sometimes memory can play tricks on you, especially if you're just so firmly entrenched in a thought and think, no, it can't be anything else. It's got to be this, and this. And I was searching for it, and now I understand why it's taken so long to actually get an answer. I probably should have put this out to YouTube and have someone solve it like Harkin X within 24 hours. That would have been ideal. But here's what I got right. New Zealand child expert. He is from New Zealand. That's a tick. I'm going to say mid-40s to late 40s, possibly early 50s. 43 years old, that's also a tick. And he did stick his tongue out in the promo like I remembered from way back when. So that's another tick, that's awesome. However, I've just run out of ticks. Now, were this yesterday, I would have sworn on a stack of anything that this show came out in the early 90s. And I first viewed the promo that you've just seen, more than likely at my grandparents' place, and it would have been school holidays. The only problem was it came out in 2010 and I was 30 years old. My grandparents had passed on. I wasn't back at their place in 2010, so I have no idea where I was when I saw it, but it was 2010 and not the early 90s. I swore this was on Channel 10. Completely wrong channel, Channel 9. You might not think this makes much of a difference, but it certainly does when you're trying to search for Channel 10 promos for a show that they never actually ran. So it was Channel 9 back in 2010. He had curly black hair, he had glasses, and he looked very much like Australian James Valentine, the late great James Valentine. Putting a picture of Nigel and James side by side, they don't really look like that. I don't know why I thought they did. And interestingly too, I mentioned something about a growth on my memory version of Dr. Nigel Latta on his nose, but no, that's certainly not a thing. So I'm not sure who I'm confusing here, but it's not, my mind, my memory is not accurately describing him visually, that's for sure. I got the tongue bit right. The thumbs down, where did that come from? My mind's just made that up.
What does that mean? You're a nut. You're crazy in the coconut.
Which leads us to the ultimate question. Did it actually go to air back in the year 2010? And if it did, how come no one remembers it and how come I never saw an episode? Well, if it's 2010 and I was 30, I was yet to have kids, so the topic certainly didn't interest me. But what I discovered, and thank you to Wikipedia for the update on this, is that it was filmed in the early stages of 2010 for 1 season and 3 episodes. That's it. There are only 3 episodes of the politically incorrect parenting show here in Australia. He flew in, he filmed 3 episodes with a studio audience, and then he flew back to New Zealand. And that was it. So unless they've repeated themselves, maybe it was just a one-off. I don't remember anyone talking about it ever again. I don't remember seeing anything about it past 2010. Like I said, trying to find any information about it, it's pretty limited out there. So I'm going to suggest that it ran once, and that was it. And that's probably why I never saw it, more than just memory's sake.
It's your fault.
And it wasn't a case of he did this show and then that was it. It's just that we didn't really see him, to my understanding, on Australian TV much after this, although he continued to do plenty of things over in New Zealand, including being a clinical psychologist. He wrote more books. I believe he wrote some more crime fiction and also continued to broadcast. Sadly, he passed away at the age of just 58 from stomach cancer. And there's quite a few videos of Dr. Nigel with all that he does, including bits of the show, which I'm going to check out in just a sec, and all of his other work as well. He was a great public speaker as well. So that was the story of Dr. Nigel, and that was the story of the politically incorrect parenting show. And even though I didn't watch an episode, I have looked up some of the reviews, so let me share them. These are from Wikipedia from back in the day, 2010. When it first came out, the Sydney Morning Herald television critic Bridget McManus called the program a confusing melange of comedy and practical parent advice, and compared it to a glossy PowerPoint presentation.
There's just that subtle shift. And it's the dust works very slowly. Sometimes slowly, sometimes very quick.
The Centralian Advocate thought the series was an entertaining and enlightening of making contemporary parenting more sensible.
You get up and there's just that subtle change from little kid to this kind of vaguely sneery unpleasantness.
David Knox of the Sun Herald found it pointless and cheaply made. Whoops. While Greg Hassel of the Sydney Morning Herald said it had mildly irritating routines and was very disjointed.
Yeah, no, you don't really, not at all, yeah.
The Daily Telegraph called it an entertainingly irrelevant guide of how to raise children. Herald Sun reviewer Cameron Adams thought Ladders had lame jokes. Sorry, Nigel.
There's you and there's happiness. And you're in the way of the happiness.
While Naomi Toy of Women's Day reviewed the program, it doesn't actually say whether she found it a good program, a bad program, or somewhere in between, or she might be like me and barely remembers it. But anyway, the good news is the mystery has been solved, and I think it's a great example that if you have something in the back of your mind that you've been holding on for quite some time and you haven't found any answers, just do what I do. Put it out to the internet and hopefully someone really helpful will come along and go, I'm not 100% certain, but I reckon it's this. So, mystery solved. I can go back to sleeping at night. Thanks for checking out this reveal, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm sure I'll be back again very soon with another mystery that's been in the back of my mind for far too long that someone will solve within a day. Fingers crossed.